Let's review.
Social Studies. The first poem written by Rizal which won a prize was Aking Mga Kababata. B. Huling Paalam. C. Bagong Lipunan. D. Pilipinas kong Mahal. The Artistic Literary Lyceum of Manila in 1879 held a literary contest that offered a prize for the best poem. When this event happened, Rizal was only 18 years old. He submitted his poem entitled A la Juventud Filipina. The board of judges, composed of Spaniards, was astounded by Rizal's poem and awarded him first prize, which consisted of a silver pen, or a feather shaped and decorated with gold, and diploma. Rizal was congratulated by the Jesuits, especially his former professors in Ateneo, friends and family. It is a classic Philippine literature because it was the first Spanish poem written by a Filipino and was recognized by Spanish literary authority. Another reason is that it expresses that the Filipinos were the fair hope of the fatherland and not the Spaniards. A la Juventud Filipina is an inspiring poem that states that the Filipino youth are capable of great heights. It urges the Filipino youth to reach their potential by harnessing their skills and talents for the betterment of our countrymen. It motivates the youth to free Filipinos from ignorance, and to seek freedom and human dignity. To learn more about Rizal, watch my previous video. The answer is A. Filipino.
Ang lahat ng ito ay mga wikang Filipino maliban sa A. Hiligaynon, B. Baybayin, C. Cebuano, D. Chavacano. Ang mga hiligaynon na madalas na tinutukoy bilang mga Ilonggo o mga taga-Panay ay isang pangkat na etniko ng mga Bisaya na ang paunahing wika ay hiligaynon, isang wikang Austronesian ng sangay ng wikang Bisaya na katutubo sa Panay, Guimaras at sa Negros. Ang baybayin ang sinaunang sistema ng pagsulat ng mga Pilipino noong panahon bago pa dumating ang mga Kastila. Ang baybayin ang pinakalumang uri ng pagsulat ng mga Pilipino noon. Ang uri ng pagsulat na ito ay may impluwensya ng mga palatitikang Sanskrito na lumaganap sa India at sa iba pang mga lugar sa Asya at Europa. Ang Cebuano ay katutubong wika ng isla ng Cebu sa Pilipinas at ito ay tinuturing na lingua franca o pangunahing wika ng Katimugang Pilipinas. Tinatawag rin itong Visayan, Visaya o Bisaya. Ang chavacano ay isang wika sa Zamboanga at ilang bahagi ng Pilipinas na may malakas na halong Espanyol. Sa buong Asya, ito ang nag-iisang wikang Kriole, isang wikang natural na nabuo sa paghahalo ng mga magulang na wika na nakabatay sa Espanyol. Sa mga nabanggit, ang hindi tinuturing wikang Filipino ay ang baybayin dahil ito ay uri ng pagsulat.
Science. A child at the top of a slide, a ripe guava it falls, a yo-yo before it is released, are examples of potential. A. Electrical energy. B. Gravitational. C. Mechanical. D. Chemical. Electrical energy is the most convenient form of energy for most human uses. This energy is easy use and move from one location to another, but it is almost impossible to store in any large quantity. It can be used for running computers and most appliances, home heating, and even transportation. Gravitational energy. Gravitational potential energy is the energy possessed or acquired by an object due to a change in its position when it is present in a gravitational field. Examples of gravitational potential energy: a raised weight, water that is behind a dam, a car that is parked at the top of a hill, a yo-yo before it is released, river water at the top of a waterfall, a book on a table before it falls, a child at the top of a slide, ripe fruit before it falls. Mechanical energy. Mechanical energy, kinetic energy or potential energy, is the energy of either an object in motion or the energy that is stored in objects by their position. This energy is also a driver of renewable energy. Many forms of renewable energy rely on mechanical energy to adequately produce power or convert energy. The mechanical energy of an object can be the result of its motion, example, kinetic energy, and or the result of its stored energy of position, example, potential energy. The total amount of mechanical energy is merely the sum of the potential energy and the kinetic energy. Chemical energy. Chemical energy is energy stored in the bonds of atoms and molecules. Batteries, biomass, petroleum, natural gas, and coal are examples of chemical energy. For example, chemical energy is converted to thermal energy when people burn wood in a fireplace or burn gasoline in a car's engine. The answer is B. English. William Sidney Porter was a famous American writer of short stories noted for surprise endings like The Gift of the Magi, Cabbages and King, and The Last Leaf, in which he used the pen name A. Mark Twain, B. George Ello, C. Longfellow, D. O. Henry. William Sidney Porter, born September 11, 1862, Greensboro, North Carolina, U.S. is an American short story writer whose tales romanticized the commonplace, in particular the life of ordinary people in New York City. William Sidney Porter is often called the master of the American short story. His stories are famous for their surprise endings and ability to show that people and circumstances are rarely exactly what they seem to be. The pseudonym of William Sidney Porter is O. Henry. 10 of the best short stories of O. Henry are The Gift of the Magi, Mammon and the Archer, Memoirs of a Yellow Dog, The Duplicity of Hargraves, The Last Leaf, The Sleuths, After 20 Years, and The Skylight Room. The answer is D. Mathematics. The pair of integers which are relatively prime is A. 18 and 4, B. 24 and 18, C. 6 and 45, D. 4 and 7. Relatively prime are also called k-prime. Two integers are relatively prime or k-prime when there are no common factors other than 1. This means that no other integer could divide both numbers evenly. For example, 7 and 20, and 12 and 13, these are relatively prime because its only common factor is 1. 12 and 14 are not co-prime because you can divide 2 to both numbers. Let's examine each of the choices. For 18 and 4. As you can see, when you list out the factors of each number, 2 is the greatest number that 18 and 4 divides into. For 24 and 18. When you list out the factors of each number, 6 is the greatest number that 18 and 24 divides into. For 6 and 45. We can see that when you list out the factors of each number, 3 is the greatest number that 6 and 45 divides into. For 4 and 7. The greatest common factor of 4 and 7 is 1. So the answer is D. 4 and 7 are relative prime numbers. Follow our social media for part 6.